This is so emotional. Chairman of the Board, Michelle Strauss. My dear partner and friend. Board of Trustees, dear rabbis, faculty, and members of the administration, our honored guests and alumni, our incredible honorary doctorate, Jason Greenblatt, for his amazing, amazing words. Special shout out to all of the supportive family, parents, grandparents, and friends who are here today. And most especially our students to our class of 2021, congratulations! You have made it. You have endured a year like no other. You have socially distanced, masked, and been regularly tested. You have lived at home, in dorm rooms, and Zoom rooms. You have been tried and you have been true to our values and true to our mission as leaders of the world of tomorrow. You have shown resilience, strength, and enormous character. Congratulations to our graduates. You know, every year graduation is special, but this year is different. It is different because in a year defined by distance and being virtual, we come together today live and in person. You know, 5 weeks ago when the governor announced that universities could have in-person graduations, we naturally understood the enormous challenge in turning around an event of such scale in such a short amount of time. This was truly a colossal undertaking. And I want to thank our entire team of staff, security, administration, and professionals who've been working on this day and night. And especially the person in charge of making this all happen, our Senior Director of Events, Aliza Berenholtz. But this is indicative of what Yeshiva University and what we have been doing all year. And it's been a special, special privilege to me to work with such an amazing team. I want to deeply thank, on behalf of the entire Jewish people, our student body, all the senior administrators, the deans that are behind me, the incredible deans that are here, incredible, the faculty, and the rabbis that gave of themselves day and night in difficult, arduous circumstances. We have worked together with you, our beloved students, to create a safe, social, educational context in which our professors can continue to teach and you, our students, can continue to study, grow, and flourish. But this graduation is not just special because we're in person. It's special because it represents something bigger. You represent something bigger. You represent hope. These past few weeks have been difficult for us. We've begun to see some old bigotries arise anew. Attacks on Jews, not just in Tel Aviv, but in Times Square. And an upside-down world more readily supportive of a terrorist organization than with the only democracy in the Middle East. But in these tumultuous times, you represent the future. We have confidence in our future because we have confidence in you. You are our hope as the next generation of Jewish heroes and the leaders of tomorrow. I want to share with you two stories of Jewish heroes to highlight this point. The first is the story of Esther. Living in the king's palace, her cousin Mordecai insists that Esther must intercede on the Jews' behalf to ward off the Persian king's decree of annihilation. But Esther initially refuses. Mordecai beseeches her to rethink her response, and he says, Al tidami benafsheich, lihimaleit beit hamelech mikol hayudim. Don't think, Esther, that you are going to escape and be safe in the palace. Because if you're quiet at this time. Now, if we stop the story right here, what would you expect Mordecai to say next? If you're quiet at this time, what's going to happen? What's going to happen if you're quiet? We're all going to be destroyed. We'll all be annihilated. But that's not what he says. He says, Revach v'atzala yamod laYehudim mimakom acher, va'atu beit avich tavedu. Salvation and redemption will come, but you and your father's house will be lost. What does Mordecai mean with that? If salvation and redemption come, why will Esther and her father's house be lost? Because what Mordecai means is not that Esther and her father's house will be physically destroyed, but that they will be lost from the annals of history. Mordecai has no doubt that the Jewish people would survive. God promised our survival then, as he's repeatedly promised us in every crisis we have faced throughout history. Redemption will come. It is not Jewish history that's at stake, Mordecai explains to Esther. It's not Jewish destiny, but your destiny. Esther, you have an opportunity to act, to write your name into the story of the Jewish people, and those that do so will always be remembered. And throughout history, we've seen people who have made that choice. Some people are with us today, like Jason Greenblatt, faced with incredible possibilities of large-scale impact, who hear the call of history, respond, and move history forward. There are moments in our lives in which we can write ourselves into the story of the Jewish people, affix our name and destiny onto the arc of Jewish history. But such moments and aspirations are not just in the halls of the White House or ancient palaces in Persia, but characterize the choices we make each and every day. Because there's a second story I want to share with you as well. The story of Megillat Ruth. Ruth, after leaving her homeland and joining her mother-in-law Naomi, is willing to remarry and establish the name of her husband's family. An offer is extended to the next closest of kin, who is referred to as the Goel, the Redeemer. But this person refuses to marry Ruth and remains anonymous throughout the story. Instead, Boaz marries Ruth, and Boaz becomes the Goel, becomes the Redeemer. Now, this story is different than Esther. There are no palaces. There are no genocidal threats to the entire Jewish people, no great political stakes. Just a relationship between two people on the threshing field. And the lesson is that each one has the power to be a redeemer, to be a Goel in someone else's life. And by living your values and by impacting those around you, you too become worthy of being named and remembered. And interestingly, it was this very relationship that on which palaces were built, that the Jewish people were sustained, and the kingdom of David was established on this earth. In the ancient world, there's a difference between the Jewish and Greek conceptions of a hero. For the Greeks, one becomes a hero through epic stories of great victories in battle. But the founding story of the Jewish monarchy emerges from a quiet moment, a whispered act of kindness, of being someone else's hero. This is where the Jewish epic begins. And this, my dear graduates, is my message for you today. Like Ruth and Boaz, Esther and Mordecai, each of you is a potential Goel, each in your own way with your own distinct qualities and strengths. At different points in your life, you will have the chance to make a difference, to be an influencer in both very public and very private ways, in grand scales and quiet kindnesses. Seize these moments. Be the Goel. And your education at Yeshiva University has taught you how. I've repeated many times this year that this will prove to be the most important year of your educational lives, because character is shaped by adversity. None of us had the map that told us how this year would unfold. Think back earlier to when you started Yeshiva University. Could you ever have imagined that the world would look as it looks today? But while none of us had the map, we did have the compass. For our values are our compass. And even during deep times of uncertainty, they give us confidence that we're moving in the right direction. And this is the model for you in the future. During your years at Yeshiva University, you've grown in the knowledge set and skill set, the competencies and values to lead lives of enormous personal and professional success, to be both morally mature and market ready, and become people of impact. We each do not know the exact arc of our individual stories. What fate and what decisions will await you in your years ahead? But what we do know is that you have the compass. With your values as your compass, you have the tools to reach your destiny and become the person you were meant to be. And this is crucial, not just for your future, but for the future of the Jewish people and our society at large. Mi lahashem Elai. Who will stand for and sanctify God's name? Who will be the pillars of the Jewish community in the years ahead? Who will serve as a bridge connecting Jews to each other and to our heritage? Who will raise the next generation of children in the teachings of their parents and grandparents? Who will bring our Torah values into this world? Who will rise up against the tide of hate? And who will stand for Israel during its time of need? It is you. Our Yeshiva University graduates, you are the leaders of tomorrow. You are the hope that we have been waiting for. And this is your mission, to study, embody, and forward our values in your homes, your communities, your workplace, for the Jewish people, and for our broader society. In addition to all your contributions to the world, as our future doctors and educators and journalists and mental health professionals, computer science, entrepreneurs, captains of industry, and religious leaders, you have the opportunity of bringing Sinai into your lives. And by bringing Sinai into your lives, you will bring Sinai into this world. This is how you become the Goel. This is how we redeem a fractured world. And this is my blessing to you, my dear students. May Hashem bless you. with only good fortune and happiness. May you find joy in your life, love in your heart, and purpose in all that you do. I have been personally inspired by seeing how you have handled this chapter in your life. And this gives me profound confidence in the way you will write yourselves into the next chapter of the great story of the Jewish people, bringing joy and redemption to those whom you love and to all those around you. Simcha to Artsecha, and Sason Lirecha, joy to the cities in which you reside, and to our eternal city of Jerusalem, joy to our homes, and joy to our homeland.